We're back with Senator Tillis, here talking now about North Carolina bases. We've had some expansion programs being talked about now. I know Seymour Johnson Air Force Base getting the new planes coming in. Talk about how North Carolina bases are looking from your standpoint.
Well, I think we're looking good. You know, North Carolina has a wonderful reputation for being a military-friendly, veteran-friendly state. And you have Fort Bragg, the home of the 82nd Airborne. You have 45% of the Marines just down the road at Camp Lejeune. You've got Seymour Johnson, New River, Cherry Point. We're on the map, and we have the attention of the Department of Defense because we do things well here in North Carolina. I feel like when you add to that our Coast Guard Air Station up in Elizabeth City, which is outside of the Department of Defense, if you take a look at the combined assets in North Carolina, virtually no state compares. What we have to do is continue to work with state leaders and with the federal government to make sure that we're getting the resources down to support military families. A very, very important part of my role as the chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee on Personnel is to make sure that we're making this mobile workforce that we have with soldiers, sailors, Marines, that we're also making sure that we take care of the families who are constantly being deployed, having to find new work, kids going to school, and combine all that and make sure the states are mindful of the role that they can play. North Carolina's doing a great job on that score.
We're here in Charlotte, and I know Charlotte, the airport here is getting an expansion as well, the new planes coming here as well. So
that's right, the C-17s for the National Guard. That's critically important, and I think we're going to continue to fight for more resources down at Fort Bragg to support the jump mission for the 82nd Airborne. But it's a real testament to the reputation North Carolina has and the strategic importance of this state to the Department of Defense.
You mentioned Fort Bragg and the readiness factor. I know we lost the 440th Airlift Wing at Pope. Is Fort Bragg, are they getting the support they still need, though, even without the 440th?
Not at the level that we expect. I've been maintaining a watch over the jump missions. I said at the time that 440th was being considered to be removed that I'm not going to force you to have a physical presence down there, but I am going to force you to live up to the demand that is necessary to make sure the number of jumps that are required to best prepare and make ready the 82nd Airborne are occurring every month. That's about 10,000 jumps a month. And they've been trending below what they need to do to provide that kind of resource that I think could be provided on the ground. And we're going to continue to watch it and fight for it if that trend continues.
With the new refueling tankers coming in at Seymour, how is that going to change just the look of the Air Force in this region and in the capabilities?
Well, we're thrilled to have the decision to have the next generation tanker down at Seymour Johnson. I think it's very well equipped to support the mission. That'll be coming in a few years. But we're looking at, as we had to do with the lift fan facility down at Cherry Point for the B variant of the Joint Strike Fighter, we're looking at specific things that we need to do, resources to prepare for that tanker. But they've done a good job. We're ready to go. That's why we were selected.
The new hospital expansion at Lejeune with the new medical center having the emergency capabilities there. How important is it to have that in that region and right there on base?
Well, that was critically important. We ended up taking the Naval Hospital and having it designated as a medical center so that we could then upgrade its trauma capabilities. This is really exciting, though, because it's an opportunity for the private sector and the Marines to collaborate. We're getting better medic training for our Marines, but we're also providing people who are within that. Today, there's an entire area of that part of the state that would be very difficult for someone who's experienced trauma to get to facilities within what they call the golden hour. Now, through this collaboration, we're going to have the opportunity to get more people, private citizens, to a trauma unit sooner, and we're also getting very, very important skills for the Marine medics so that the first time that they actually have to provide trauma services on the battlefield, it won't be their first opportunity. They've done it and they've actually impacted lives along the way.
It's all about the readiness. Thank you.
All about the readiness.